Right, Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses intro. Okay, so a few things about the sound of this. It starts on the 12th fret, which if you watch Slash do it, it is on the 12th fret. But in the 80s and that kind of era, they down-tuned the guitar by one step. So if you were to play that along with the record, it probably wouldn't sound right. It's more like one step down. That sounds more like it. But it's if you want to start playing the chords, then that's going to be out of key. So I'd advise playing it on the 12th fret, and if you want to play along with the record, then you can tune it all down and it'll work, and then you can play the chords and it'll all match. So okay, I'm just going to show you the chart. Alright, looks very confusing. I'll just explain what's happening here. I've got the riff here, and then I've got the fingers to use. So if you notice, it's the 1, 2, 3 fingers. So spaced over the 4 frets, you'd think I'd say use your little finger, but there is a point in this riff where your finger trips over itself. So it is nice using 3 fingers like this. And if you watch the video, Slash does that as well. It just saves your fingers tripping over each other. I think it's a good way of doing it. A lot of people might dispute that. But one thing I want to point out of this riff, if you look at, I've cut off the first note there, see the first note's there. If you look at each line, it is exactly the same. See that? Every line is the same. Same numbers, same strings. And the only thing that is changing throughout this is the start note there. So it's nice to think that once you've learnt the first line, the only one thing you change is the very first note. So let's work on the first 2 notes. So we're starting on the 4th string, playing the 12th fret. So that's our first finger there, you can see. And then the 15th fret with our 3rd finger. So it's a bit of a stretch. That's on the 2nd string. I'm going to show you that up front there. So see there? So normally you'd use your little finger because that's not a stretch, but you want to do a little stretch. So there. So that's the 4th string, 2nd string. So 12, 15. And then this middle finger is ready to go on the 14 there. See on the 3rd string, and you go 14, 12. So that's on the 3rd string, 14, 12. So you got. I'll show you what that looks like on the actual music. So you can see 14 comes in with the 2nd finger, and that 12 there is on the 1st. So this sounds like this. So you're playing the 4th and 2nd string, and then these 2 notes are on the string in between them. So it's a good way to memorise it. They're on the 3rd string. Play that one more time. I'm going to show you that so you can see it there. So 14, 12 on the 3rd string. Okay. Now the next bit, which is more consistent the whole way through, once you've learnt this, you've sort of nailed half of the riff. So you're going to be jumping to the 15th fret, but with your 3rd finger. So, and then your 2nd finger on the 14th fret on the 3rd string. So you'll be left with something that looks like this. So you aim there with your 15th fret. This is on the 3rd string. That's the 1st string, 3rd string. So, and what you do is you twist your hand a bit to take that to the 14. And that's 14, 14. So 15, 14. And 14, 14. One more time. I'll show you what that looks like on the tablature music. So see there, 15, 14, 14, 14. So putting that together with the first bit, you've got you can start to hear the riff come together there. So what you don't want to do is start out with them all on like that and think you've got to get them into position, because it'll sound like a chord then. You want it to be individual notes. That's why I like doing things on acoustic, because a lot of people have acoustic guitars and not everyone has an electric guitar. But B, it sort of exposes the sound. There's nowhere to hide behind distortion and loud noises, you know. It's really just about the notes and the playing. Now the next bit is the hardest, trickiest little bit, but it's not too hard. But if you notice, your start note is on the 14th with the first finger. So it's 14th, 4th string. So if you watch, this finger comes over here, so it gets a bit cramped. So you want to hit that, and then you want to carry on with the 15, 14, 12. So from the first one like that, and then the second one, this comes over here and back into the normal riff. Bring it over here. So that feels a bit cramped. So second finger in the middle, 14, 12. And then 14, 12. So you almost got to get that finger to fight for its place in between there. Okay, and the third line is probably the easiest. I'll just show you that music there, and I'll play that. So, oh, right. So the third line, it starts on the 12th fret, but on the 3rd string. So you're starting here now, rather than the first one's here, second one's here, third one's here. So, and then the 15, 12, 14. So that 12, 14 there is on the same string as the start note, so don't get confused. And then aim for the 15 there, like normal. Okay, and you'll be happy to know that the very last line is the same as the first. So you start on the 12th fret on the 4th string. Now each line you play them 2 times. So I'm just going to play them to you slow, each one twice. So actually a good little practice would be to practice the very start note sequence. So 12 on the 4th string, 12 on the 14, 14 on the 4th string, and 12 on the 3rd string, back to 12 on the 4th. So do that again. It's good to know where your start notes are. I'll show you where that is, because that's the only thing that changes. Back to there. So I'll play you the riff slowly. 4th string, 14th, 12 on the 3rd string, 12, back to 12 on the 4th string. So the start note's there, then there, then there, then there. That's the way you memorise it, really. I'm just going to play it one more time with the music. So 2 on this line, and so it's 2 on every line. So the first one, then to the next line, then the next line, and then the last line. Sorry for the mistakes. Sometimes when you're multitasking and reading the music and looking at yourself at the same time, you hit wrong notes, but the main thing is that I'm explaining it to you and you understand it. So hope you enjoy that. I hope it's broke it down, made it a bit easier with the 3 fingers. I'm sure if you practice it with 4 fingers, you will realise that you do trip over yourself when you come to the second line. You land there and you got to jump up with your finger, and you get this slight little hesitant note which doesn't sound good. Alright, thank you very much. See you later.